Hello my astrology friends, this is Lada from Astrolada.com and these are your September 2023 video horoscopes. And September we have 3 planets changing directions. What does it mean? Your life will change direction. 3 planets, Venus is turning direct, Jupiter is turning retrograde, Mercury is turning direct, which those 3 planets rule 6 out of the 12 houses, which means 6 areas of everyone's life will shift, will change. With 2 planets turning direct for the better, with 1 retrograde, maybe it will just change, take a different direction. Doesn't have to be negative, just an alternative direction. But 6 areas of your life will be shifting, big changes. I'm very excited. Before I start, I just want to let you know that I've compiled for you around more than 600 transits of transiting planets to natal. It's a written ebook. It's interactive. You can click on the transit you're interested in and it will take you to the text, very extensive text, what each transit means. Or you can watch your transits on my personal transit calendar, which is for free for everyone for the next 4 or 5 days always. But this book is a work of love that I've created over 4 or 5 years. Me and my teacher, we've written all the transits in depth. If you want to own it for a very small amount, it's hundreds of pages. An early bird will get a big discount of 30% on this ebook. So let's start with the horoscopes. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, September 2023. Libra, the month starts with your planet turning direct. I'm quite sure Libras had a bit of a tough period, especially in the middle of August when Venus was not only retrograde but burnt and invisible. But it already becomes visible from the 20th of August, and now into September on the 3rd it turns direct. So if maybe some of you reconnected with the past and it happened in your 11th house with friends you haven't seen for a while, but also there might have been complications and delays with gains, with income, or even with friendships to some of you. And overall, some of you might not have felt 100%. My husband is Libra rising, and this Venus retrograde, he got a bit, he connected with a lot of old friends that he hasn't seen in a long time, a lot of very heartfelt connections, but also he got a bit sick as well. So if you've been under the weather, especially during Venus retrograde, now Venus turns direct, it is visible already on the 3rd of September. You start filling up with life force again, with energy. Everything starts going more according to plan, more organized, not so chaotic like during Venus retrograde. Retrograde planets, even in the Bible, they said that for 40 days, they went in the 40 years, they went in the desert. That's a symbolism also of Venus being retrograde, usually for 40 days, being in the desert, kind of roaming around, not clear where you're going, rethinking everything, looking for something. Well, Venus turns direct. It's the end of those 40 years in the desert, 40 days for you. So you can, and it will be all the month in your 11th house, Libras. So that could be very auspicious to start new friendships, to meet new people, like-minded people, to have some very pleasant experiences with friends or in social environment, to go to social events of any sorts. I mean, like concerts or clubs or whatever, even to join clubs online, offline, whatever, in real life. It can be a very friendly, auspicious time. And the whole month Venus is in this 11th house. You can be more gainful as well. If you have your own business, or you can even get some bonus, or if you have your own business, you can reach more clients. They can be more benevolent towards you. They can like you more. And if there was any complications in those areas of your life earlier, it can all be straightened out. Now, Venus being direct there in a wonderful state. Venus in a more masculine phase now. Athena Palace. Athena Palace, yes. So you can initiate there. It's a business house, the 11th house. You can initiate if you want to reach out, audience, people. You can be a bit more public than other times. You can put out some project to the world to see, to be appreciated. It will be received well, or just your persona will be received well, from others. But again, if your mind is on money, I think it will be definitely more beneficial period now starting this September. And Venus turning direct there. At the same time, Jupiter is turning retrograde in your 8th house. Oh, what does that mean? Well, 8th house is, do you have investments or in banks or in stock or in savings? They can turn in a different direction now. They might have been going down, they might start going up, or the opposite. They might have been your investments or pension fund or whatever. So, or mutual finances and resources with your partner, for example. If your partner's finances have been going down, they can start going up. Or the opposite. If they've been on the high, some reversal there in circumstances connected to mutual finances, so finances that come to you from partners, from business partners, from investments of some sort. Well, the 11th house where Venus is your own like salary or money that you make with your own efforts from your work. Well, the 8th house has more connotations of investments or other people's finances and resources as well. Also, 8th house is, and Jupiter will be retrograde there till the end of the year. So some of you might go back to redo taxes, or the retrograde planet means putting more efforts, 3 times more efforts into anything to do with 8th house. It can be taxes, it can be mutual finances with a partner, it can be some old opportunity that you missed that come back to you. For example, from to utilize the resources of another. It can come back to you. Maybe their skills, maybe their knowledge, maybe their wisdom, maybe their money. That you can take advantage of that in some way. Maybe someone's resources that you used to have access to now, but you stop having access to them, they can reappear again as a resource for you. Or maybe they can be some change in regards to matters regarding insurances, inheritances. Well, we spoke about the taxes as well. And of course, retrograde, sometimes it can be like some delays or changes that are happening there. But also rethinking. That can be a period of 3-4 months of rethinking such investments and so on. But usually it should be beneficial period, because by the time Jupiter starts turning direct next year at the beginning, you should be able to have benefited by other people's resources, more clients' resources, or other business partners' skills or abilities, or your partners, marriage partners' finances, resources. So it's more, because Jupiter tends to expand. Also, there is a tendency with 8th house, it's a very psychological house. So you might be revisiting and healing some old traumas, because 8th house is where the chakras are. The 8th house rules all the chakras in the body, apertures. And when the chakras are slowed down or not activated, there is blockages there, and it's usually trauma. So they can even indicate some kind of a health issues. So when Jupiter starts retrograding, those issues will have to be addressed. For example, traumas from the past or psychological fears and hang-ups that can come to the surface for you to see them and to illuminate them with the wisdom of Jupiter, to release them. And some of you might have healing crisis, where you release trauma and suddenly some long health condition that you had might be reversed, and you might be healed from it, Well, sometimes Jupiter going retrograde, something in the 8th house, I don't want to scare, but sometimes there can be some reversal, and 8th house is reversals, but like life and death situations. So suddenly finding out you're pregnant, suddenly some relative passing away. So now is the topic of inheritance. But that's in more extreme situations most time. It's more to do with your own psychological past and releasing it, seeing it from a different light, from a higher perspective. So this can be a really good time to have deep realizations with a psychologist, with a healer of some sort, or with an astrologer. It can be very powerful realizations that liberate you. Something from the past, hidden, can come up. Some secret that has been hidden can be revealed when Jupiter starts going retrograde in your 8th house. Or you can go back to something secretive, or something that sometimes obsessions and addictions can be 8th house that can be reborn. But Jupiter there, if it reactivates some old addiction or whatever, it's only so you can rework it, work through it and release it, see it from a different light. Or it can mean that your mind starts changing. If you have some already addictions or obsessions of some sort, Jupiter can help you see it from a different perspective and truly release. It's very healing house on the higher level with Jupiter there. So some of you, there can be even some Kundalini opening there or very psychic experiences. 8th house is extremely psychic, and Mercury is retrograde in your 12th house till the middle of the month. So it's like a double whammy for Libras. Like their subconscious is extremely active. Retrograde planet is much more introspective, more psychic. All retrograde planets are psychic. If you see someone with many retrograde planets, usually they have naturally psychic abilities. But now we have them in the sky, activating psychic and psychological houses. So this can be big breakthroughs for you this month, especially around the middle when Mercury starts turning direct and becoming visible, of healing from the past, from past lifetime. You can even receive images and messages from invisible worlds, from departed loved ones, and you can have some deep psychological realizations and answers to secrets and answers to it's almost like resolution of a psychological problem on a deeper level. But probably the first 2 weeks this can deepen and become more critical, while the release starts happening from the middle of the month when Mercury starts turning direct. And by the way, I would advise you, while Mercury is retrograde in your 12th house, be careful of it's going to be retrograde till the 15th. So be careful not to lose phones, not to break such things, phones, laptops, keys, cards. There's a complication. 12th house is losses. It's just, or maybe you can, hopefully you'll find them out when Mercury becomes visible again, or losing some documents or important correspondence, or there's some complications with passwords. Sometimes this happens, especially in the 12th house. But if you want to do anything to do with communication and so on after the 15th, after the 17th, especially when Mercury turns not only direct but becomes visible. And after that, after the 17th, it's fantastic time, because before that you might be revisiting. For example, rethinking Mercury retrograde in the 12th house, maybe the past, thinking about the past, maybe not being very clear where you want to head or what you want to do. Maybe it might be a good time to redo some documents or papers you haven't finished, that you have to, something that you have left, you have to go back to it and redo it. And it might feel more complicated. If you, whatever project you're working in, it might feel like your mind is more scattered, things are moving slower, that the routines are kind of more unpredictable. But after the 15th, 16th onwards, everything starts lining up so well. Everything. So if there was any complications with information or documents or papers or losing or breaking of passwords and all of those things that I spoke at the beginning, all this gets sorted out from the middle of the month, and it becomes even better. So even if some of those things happen, I don't know, your account got hacked, something, or some complications with papers, or some miscommunication, being misunderstood, or so on, then somehow this will be reworked in something even better, because Mercury is visible. That's so rare from the 16th, 17th. Mercury is direct from the 15th and exalted. So that can be the second part of the month, starting from the 15th, 16th. Mercury is reborn. There is a new moon also in your 12th house. And so new beginnings in this 12th house. What can it be? You can appear a possibility for you to travel abroad, or to connect with people from faraway places, or there can be some foreign investment that comes as an opportunity to really reveal some truth, hidden truth, and release, as we said, the hard work is while Mercury is still retrograde, but release some kind of secret or release some kind of a addictive, again 12th house, addictive behavior, some obsession, addiction, or something secretive. And with Mercury retrograde invisible in the 12th house, there might be hidden communication that happens and so on, sometimes, or some secrets, something secretive, but then it comes to the surface when Mercury becomes visible and direct again, and somehow it works into better circumstances as well. So it can be also a great time to have psychic insights and realizations and gain more clarity with Mercury in this 12th house. Even messages, I mean, like from invisible sources. Have a psychic reading or study something mystical or read about psychology. You'll get this second part of the month such profound realizations. You'll be really like your God is talking to you. So there you go, Libras. But the most important thing is that your planet will be good. Okay, whatever's happening in your 12th house, in your 8th house, these are more subconscious, more psychological houses. But Venus, your Venus is in a great state the month already. So you're starting to feel better. So as I said, possibly this Venus, Mercury from the middle of the month is very good. So do 12th house things, go to hotels from the middle of the month. Go to holidays from the middle of the month, retreat from the world, have spa days, foreign places, study some psychological stuff. While Venus is all the time good for you in your 11th house, and I spoke already which activities will be good for you in that 11th house. So thank you so much, and hope that was helpful. But of course, if you want to know your own personal transits, like no one else in the world has them, I have my free transit calendar, and I'm putting a link below it. So where it updates every few days, and you see the next 5-6 days ahead to a week. And they're all your personal transits, like no one else in the world will have them. No one else in the world offers such a free transit calendar like I do. And you see exactly from when to when and what it means, this transit and so on. And I become irrelevant with my videos here because you'll get there the directly information. Thank you.